Is there finally room for rare earth miners outside of China? Luisa Moreno is president of Defense Metals and a rare earth analyst. Luisa, welcome to Kitco.
Hi, Michael. Thank you for having me.
Rare earth miners outside of China, as I don't have to tell you right now, Luisa, they seem to be having a moment. I think of Australian-based Lynas with its record revenues and vital metals opening a rare earth mine in Canada. I want to get to that current landscape, but can you tell us why China has dominated the rare earth sector to date?
Well, they have been very interested in the space. They recognize the importance of rare earth for many strategic applications. And they just happen to have very good deposits as well. Most of them are 2% or higher. Bionobo is as high as 6%. And for those reasons, they've been able to be a very large producer.
There is also what you hear anecdotally is that China can also have some advantages either with state support or just being able to put these projects through. If you were visiting a rare earth mine in China, what would you see?
If you're visiting a rare earth mine in China, if it's a hard rock deposit, you will probably see a very organized production. They're able to produce, most of them, a very high flotation concentrate and then process it. And then you would see as well, probably some not very environmentally friendly operations. Some of the images that have come to us, for instance, are images from ion adsorption clay mines, where folks sometimes are covered in dust and clay, and it's not very organized, but it works. It works for them.
I mentioned off the top, Lynas, are rare earth mines away from China now feasible?
Look, if you look at the numbers, the production numbers, 10 years ago in 2012, we had total production of about 110,000 tons. And of that, 95,000 tons came from China. So China produced 95% of the total rare earth, or accounted for 95% of the total rare earth mine production. Today, that is drastically different. China produces about 140,000 tons. So it has increased the production, but it only accounts for about 60%. Still the largest producer, but you have other players. United States, you have MP Materials, and Lynas, as you mentioned, and others around the world as well.
We say rare earths, but is there a metal within that classification that's particularly sought after with energy transition, and what's its application, Luisa?
Yes. We usually refer to them as NdPr. Nd is basically neodymium, and NPR is praseodymium. So those two metals are used to produce the strongest magnets known to man, and they are used to make permanent magnet motors. And those motors that will be replacing the internal combustion engine in the future, and already actually doing that, they use NdPr. And so the forecast is very strong for NdPr. So the estimates is that in the next 10 to 20 years, in the next 10 years, 10 to 13, 15 years, we will have to double the production of rare earth in order to be able to capture enough neodymium, praseodymium for that one application.
Who are the major players outside of China?
The major players outside China right now are probably three. There are many others, private companies as well. In India, you have Indian Rare Earth. You have in Vietnam. Brazil also has some production. But the major ones that are listed today are MP Materials in US with the Mountain Pass mine. You have Lynas, as you refer, with Mount Weld mine, also about 7 billion market cap in US dollars anyways. And you have Iluka, which is a zirconium producer and ilmenite producer. They produce heavy mineral, they process heavy mineral sands to recover monazite, which is becoming a significant mineral, again, significant mineral for rare earths. So if I was to list three companies, the top ones, those would be those three as the top producers.
One of the problems with having a rare earth mine is that the material is really tough to process and usually can be a dirty process as well. What's the state of the art for processing rare earths, Luisa?
Michael, I wouldn't call it dirty. I think the reason why people think that is because, like I said, some of the images from iron exhaustion clays have come out of China, and you see people really covered in clay, very dirty. And the iron exhaustion clay processing in China, it is probably, you can call it dirty. Some of it is in situ mining, and it's not environmentally friendly. But rare earth does not have to be a dirty process. MP Materials as well as Lynas, they produce it. There is obviously some issues in Malaysia because of the thorium content that is separated from the processing for Lynas. But it is not more dirty than any other base metals processing, perhaps a little bit more complex. But there are, ways today in modern metallurgy that allows for rare earths to be processed in an environmentally sustainable way.
Luisa, there was those headlines out of Greenland where somebody was trying to push through a rare earth project, and that eventually got turned back by the community just out concerns of that. But to say again, though, something, I don't know if we get into the particulars of it, but again, no. You would look at that as just kind of, how would you say, it would be something that shouldn't have any more impact than a regular base metals miner.
If I'm not wrong, the Greenland project has both rare earth and uranium, and so that is an uranium potential producer.
Yeah.
And in some parts of the world are not interested in producing uranium. We do produce it in Canada and many other countries, and some provinces in Canada are not interested, and some countries around the world don't want to produce uranium and or radioactive elements, and so that could be the case for Greenland, not necessarily the way the rare earth would be processed, but potentially and most likely the fact that uranium might have to be produced as well.
Specific to the project, Luisa, what's a checklist for a rare earth project? What would be something that would tick the boxes that could actually end up becoming a mine?
Metallurgy continues to be a very important aspect. So if you're looking at deposit, if it's a hard rock deposit instead of iron exhaustion clay has their own complexities. You will find most of the times, hard rock deposits. And so investors should be looking for relatively a good grade, close to 2%, around that, or higher, definitely. And if that is not present, they need to make sure that the ore is the beneficiation of the ore leads to a high flotation concentrate, and so in addition to that, investors can look at the types of minerals that a deposit might have. So we know that minerals that have been processed economically are, for instance, bustenacite, and monazite, among others, but not many. But always look at the total rare earth content in those minerals, because once they are beneficiated, once the ore is beneficiated and those minerals are concentrated, if they have high content of rare earth, that would lead to a high mineral concentrate, which is key to make a mine profitable. So looking at those aspects, of course, infrastructure, if you have a good deposit in the middle of nowhere, and you need a $200 million road to get started, that will make the project that much more difficult or more expensive. So all these things are important.
Tell us about Defense Metals, Luisa.
So Defense Metals is a rare earth project in BC, and is a light rare earth project, which means it has high percentages of NdPr. And we have completed the PEA, which shows at about $500 million NPV. And currently, we have about 16 years mine life modeled into it. But we have doubled the drilling that we have done in the past, and we think we're going to be able to increase that mine life significantly.
Milestones over the next 12 months?
For the next 12 months, we're looking at being able to show the results of our drilling. We're going to be the assay results. We're going to be showing that shortly, as well as results about scaling up of our metallurgy as well.
Luisa, thanks for speaking with Kitco.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
She's Luisa Moreno. She is president of Defense Metals and a longtime rare earth analyst. My name is Mike McRae, and you're watching Kitco Mining.